Weihenstephaner Brewery is the oldest continually operating brewery in the entire world. While beer production at the Abbey dates back to 768, beer has been constantly produced since 1050. The Weihenstephaner Hefeweissbier is the brewery's entry into the wheat beer category. But how does it stack up against the competition? Let's find out. What up, guys? Yeah, today we have good old Weihenstephaner Hefeweissbier. And I cannot remember if I've had this one before. I wasn't keeping track of, a lot of the German beers, the name and the label looks very similar, and sometimes if you're not keeping track, you just totally forget which ones you've had. So I can't tell you. But let's get into it. I am looking forward to it. I haven't had a good Hefeweissbier in a while, so hopefully this lives up to it. Now, normally when you're picking up a German beer, you almost always know it's going to be good. It's one of the few countries where you know that. Of course, it has some brewery regulations, that the Purity Act, that ensures that. My only problem with the Purity Act is I feel like it handcuffs a lot of the breweries, so they can't experiment a lot. It's like with German beers, they make 3 or 4 that are really awesome, and that's about it though. They don't branch off. Where when you look at, say, Belgium, they have so many not crazy, but just styles all over the place that you're always going to find something just new and exciting, and it's just I don't know. Personally, I've always liked Belgian beers over German beers because of that, because of the variety, but normally you can't go wrong with a good German beer, and I'm thinking this is going to be that. But anyways, let's get into the smell. It's got a nice crisp aroma to it. Of course, you have this nice head going on. It's not just kind of, going away as soon as you pour it. It's hanging out, it's hanging around, so that's always nice. But it has a nice kind of floral aroma to it, but you still have that citrusy aroma to it. Not to shandy level, but you still have that that kind of lemony thing going on. And it smells like there's some spice in there. I'm not putting my finger on the spice, but it has a little bit like a spicy aroma to it. I'm drawing a blank on the actual spice, but so it's definitely kind of a bouquet-ish aroma, like your flower bouquet with a little bit of citrus in there, and then you have just a little kind of interest with that spice or whatever. But I like the aroma. Let's get into the taste. Oh yeah, that's good stuff. That's a good beer right there. That is what you want your Hefeweizen to taste like. You have that kind of citrusy thing going on. It's clean, but the taste doesn't just disappear after you've had it. It lingers a little bit. You almost got a little bit of vanilla in there going on. It's got that nice vanilla-y, citrusy kind of thing going on. And when you get that combination just right, it works very well. And I think they're doing it pretty good with this. Reminds me a little bit, if you're ever in Arizona, there's a very small local brewery called Go, and they make this, it tastes like an orange creamsicle, because of the vanilla and the mandarin or whatever they use. But I can't remember what exactly the specific kind, but it's from Go. So if you're ever in Arizona, check that out. It's a really great, just vanilla-y wheat beer. It's a fun drink during the summertime. But anyways, back to this one. It has that vanilla-y kind of thing going on. I don't know if coriander is the right seasoning I'm thinking of. I don't know, but it's just made so well that I don't know. Trust me, you're gonna like it. If you like just beer, you will like this. I'm really, really enjoying it. So I'm gonna recommend it on the taste for sure. All right, next is value for price, and really outside of St. Pauli's Girl or some of your just super mass-produced German beers, you're gonna pay a little more for them. And this is one of those. I'm trying to remember exactly what I paid for this, but it's like, I don't know if it's like $4 or so for a bottle. So it's more than a lot of other imports. So, but you're really paying for the quality. The quality's fantastic. It's a really great beer. You're not gonna be pissed off that you paid $4 for a bottle of it. You'll be like, man, I should have got more of them. I should have brought more than $4 to the liquor store. But yeah, so I'm gonna recommend it on the price, honestly, because I do think it is worth what you're paying for. There are other beers, if you're paying $5 for it, and it's not going to live up to it. But this, you will be completely satisfied that you paid that for it. So I am going to recommend it on value for price. I think it's worth what you're paying. Next is distinction. How distinct is it from other, beers in the category? You're going to have to kind of do it with the Hefeweiss German style. You can kind of, compare it to the Belgian wit kind of thing, because they're two more or less the same kind of things. When you compare this to, like, say, an American style wheat beer, you don't find, it's hard to find a really, really great wheat beer in the States now, because a lot of them are going to that shandy-esque thing where it's like artificially flavored with just like country time lemonade or something. And that I don't like the artificial taste in a lot of the wheat beers, that the way it's going. I like it crisp. I like it refreshing. If I went to the Belgian style, there's a lot of Belgian wits like a Hoegaarden or Hoegaarden, however you want to pronounce it. This, I don't want to say thicker, but the flavors are heavier, I think. And depending on what you feel like, you might like one, you might like the other. I think this is really finely done. You're not really going to be able to nitpick it. You don't need a stinking orange slice in it. I don't like, keep the fruit out of my beer. If I need fruit in my beer, the beer's not that good. Besides, I don't want the bartenders, who knows what they're, I don't know. I don't want fruit in my beer. And so, I don't know, the distinction with this beer is that it's really good. It's very well made, which is what sticks it above everything, all the others. Because there's a lot of other, wit beers and Hefeweissens that just aren't, they use probably for 98% of the exact same products. It's just not, the quality's just not there. It'd be very, very hard to get better quality. So because of that, because it's just so well done, I'm going to recommend it on distinction, just because it's so highly, it's a finely tuned craft right here. And okay, next is drinkability. How many of these could I drink in a row? And I'm going to tell you what, I would have no problems going through a lot of them. It's got 5.4% alcohol by volume, so it's not super high, but again, a little higher than just your general Pilsner, which is probably half to 1% lower than this. Yeah, that is good. You have a little bit. You definitely have a little woodsy in there, just a hint. Especially, I think as it warms up, you get some more, kind of flavor notes going on. But oh yeah, this could be a beer that you just buy. I'm gonna guess it just comes in a 4-pack. It might come in a 6, but I'm gonna say probably 4. And you can probably get them get it in the larger bottles. Usually, a lot of times with the German beers, you can get it in the, the 11.2, and then the like 1.5 pints, or I'm not exactly sure how big the larger ones are. But I have no problem just going through the whole thing. It's just a nice, refreshing beer, and great flavor. And that's, a lot of times, that's all you can ask for in a beer. And so I'm going to recommend it on drinkability. And alright, last category is would I buy it again? And now I will admittedly, I normally kind of default into the Belgian beers. I think, yeah, again, because there's so many different kinds that it's just like, it's like going to a candy store. You have a gazillion different kinds of candy. You know, you can switch it up. But if I feel like a wheat style beer, this, you can't go wrong with it. And so yes, I will be buying it again. I think it's just well done. It really tastes great. Not trying to overthink it. You get a lot of beers nowadays where the brewers are just trying to, I don't know what, they just try to overthink it, and they're adding just, you know, going all these different ingredients when it's just, if you just use the best ingredients and made it really, you know, spend the time on it, that's all you really need to do. You can have just a couple ingredients and it can be fantastic if you do it right. And that's really with anything, with food, beer, and I mean, beyond just what you intake, but sometimes the simplest thing is the best if it's done right. And that is exactly what this is. And so I'm going to recommend it for that. And it got the perfect score, which means it gets the Two Dudes official stamp of approval. But alright, that is my review of Weihenstephaner's Hefeweissbier. If you've had it before, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think. Maybe there's another German-style beer that you love and you think I should check out. I'm sure it's around. I'll pick it up. That's the good thing about German beers. You can usually find the good ones around. And so, if you could, like and subscribe, that'd be fantastic. Yeah, I got a link to the podcast. And if you want to pick up a official Two Dudes in the Six-Pack Admiral Akbar Ashar Top, you know, t-shirt, that'd be awesome as well. And so, yeah, that is my review. So for myself and for Weihenstephaner Hefeweissbier, take it easy.